Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Liverpool step up intensity at AXA Training Centre ahead of Brighton clash. The sun rose over Kirkby with a thin layer of mist floating above the freshly cut grass at the AXA Training Centre. For Liverpool, this was no ordinary training day. Next weekend's meeting with Brighton and Hove Albion was more than just another Premier League fixture. It was a test of character, consistency, and tactical discipline. The players arrived early, some with headphones on, others chatting quietly, but all showing the same seriousness that Arne Slot demanded after a week full of internal reviews and performance reflections. A new atmosphere of focus. From the very first minutes of the session, it was clear that Liverpool's players were entering one of their most intense weeks of preparation this season. Coaches stood with clipboards and tablets, ready to measure distances covered, sprint frequency, passing accuracy, and tactical adherence. Slot himself walked across the pitch with his usual calm expression, yet everyone knew he was watching every detail. The air was filled with the echoes of sprint commands, passing shouts, and Slot's tactical instructions. Several players later admitted that this training session felt like a rehearsal for a final. The stakes were high, not because of the table, but because the team had reached a point where consistency would define their campaign. Warm-up, speed, turning, and agility. Fitness coach Ruben Peters gathered the squad for the warm-up. His session was designed around Brighton's biggest strength, their flexibility in possession. Liverpool had to be quicker, sharper, and smarter than usual. The warm-up consisted of quick bursts of 10 to 20 metre sprints, sharp changes of direction, acceleration drills in tight spaces, fast passing combinations with one-touch limits, body coordination exercises to improve balance during pressing. Zsobozolai and Curtis Jones looked particularly lively, executing tight turns with impressive speed. Darwin Núñez, always energetic, attacked every sprint with full power, leaving teammates clapping and laughing at his intensity. Slot's tactical meeting on the pitch. After warm-ups, Slot called the squad together for an important pitch-side tactical briefing. He placed several cones to mimic Brighton's defensive and midfield patterns. On a magnetic board, he showed how Brighton often use a narrow box in midfield, something that has troubled many top teams. Slot's main points were: 1. Circulate the ball quickly to force Brighton's midfield to shift repeatedly. 2. Stretch the pitch by using overlapping fullbacks, especially Trent on the right. 3. Run beyond the defensive line because Brighton leave spaces behind when building from the back. 4. Avoid being dragged into narrow zones where Brighton excel at pressing and stealing possession. Macalester, once a Brighton star, stepped forward and shared his personal insights. He explained the tendencies of some of his former teammates, who presses first, who tends to leave space, and which passing lanes Brighton try to close. Slot nodded with appreciation, encouraging others to listen carefully. Midfield drills, breaking the press. The group then split into smaller units. The midfielders focused on patterns designed to break Brighton's high press. The drill included receiving the ball with back to goal under pressure, turning away with one touch, passing between the lines as fast as possible, exploiting gaps left by Brighton's midfield shifts. Rotating positions to confuse the press, Alexis Macalester and Zsobozolai took control of the rhythm, switching roles fluidly. Wataru Endo, known for his discipline, added defensive intelligence to the drills by predicting Brighton-like movements and guiding others accordingly. Slot frequently paused the exercise to adjust body orientation, passing angles, and timing. Everything must be half a second faster, he said. Brighton punish slow thinking. Forward unit. Precision and ruthlessness. On the far side of the training field, Liverpool's attackers worked under the supervision of the assistant coaches. This was no light shooting session. The theme was efficiency. Brighton often keep the ball longer than their opponents, meaning Liverpool must take their chances when they come. The forwards were given scenarios: receiving a pass in a crowded box, quick finishing with minimal touches, first-time shots after diagonal balls, curled finishes from the edge of the area. 1v1 situations with simulated defenders Mohamed Salah seemed in excellent form, bending shots into the far corner repeatedly. Darwin Núñez's powerful finishing impressed the coaches, each strike bursting off his boot with venom. Diogo Jota showcased his trademark composure, delaying his shot at the perfect moment to wrong-foot the goalkeeper. Cody Gakpo, often used in different roles, practiced drifting wide and cutting inside. Slot instructed him to attack Brighton's fullbacks more aggressively because they push high and can be exposed. Defensive unit, a battle for structure. At the opposite end, Virgil van Dijk, the captain and defensive commander, led his group with intensity. Brighton's biggest danger lies in their ability to rotate positions unpredictably. To counter that, Liverpool's defenders practiced maintaining a steady high line, timing offside traps, tracking runners through the middle, staying compact during sudden transitions, blocking central channels where Brighton enjoy operating. Konate was particularly sharp, winning multiple duels with perfect timing. Joe Gomez displayed versatility by switching between fullback and centre-back roles during the drills. Andrew Robertson, returning to top physical condition, added leadership and attacking energy. Slot reinforced the idea of patience. Don't rush into tackles, he warned. They want you to chase shadows, stay disciplined. Goalkeepers, reflexes and distribution. Meanwhile, Alisson Becker worked with the goalkeeping coaches on high-intensity sessions that combined reflex saves from close range, quick throws to start counter-attacks, long diagonal passes to the wings, sweeper-keeper movements to cut off through balls. Alisson's distribution was exceptional. Several times he hit inch-perfect passes to Trent, triggering immediate attacking patterns. Kaoimhin Kelleher, too, impressed with acrobatic saves and confidence in playing out from the back. 11 versus 11. Simulation. A real test. The climax of the session was a full 11 versus 11 match simulation. Slot instructed both sides to play exactly as Brighton and Liverpool would in a real match. One team was ordered to mimic Brighton's pressing structure. 2 forwards pressing the centre-backs, narrow midfield shape, high defensive line, quick recycling of possession. The other team played Liverpool's system with Slot's tactical instructions. The match was intense. Zsobozolai smashed a long-range rocket off the crossbar. Núñez scored a volley from a Trent cross. Salah dribbled past 2 defenders before sliding the ball into the net. Macalester created multiple chances with clever passing. Van Dijk blocked what looked like a certain goal. Konate made a crunching but clean tackle that got applause from coaches. Slot paused several times to adjust pressing cues, attack triggers, and defensive transitions. Slot's final words. At the end of the session, players gathered in a circle. Slot delivered a composed yet powerful speech. "We prepare like champions," he said. "Brighton respect the ball. We must respect the game. Intensity alone is not enough. We need intelligence, timing, and unity. If we play with this discipline next weekend, we will control the match." The players listened attentively. It was clear they felt the importance of this week. Post-training extras. Even after the official session ended, many players stayed behind. Salah practiced extra penalties. Zsobozolai took long-range free kicks. Robertson and Trent rehearsed crossing patterns. Macalester studied Brighton clips with an analyst. Núñez stayed for extra finishing drills. Kelleher worked on kicking accuracy. The atmosphere was competitive, but also full of belief. A growing confidence before the clash. As the players walked back inside, the feeling around AXA was strong. Liverpool were ready. Ready to fight, ready to run, ready to rise to Slot's expectations. The unity within the squad was more visible than ever, and the training intensity suggested a team preparing not just for a match, but for a statement. Next weekend's encounter with Brighton would not be easy. But if the energy, discipline, and hunger shown in training were anything to go by, Liverpool were stepping onto the pitch with a clear message. They were determined to dominate, determined to improve, and determined to make Anfield proud once again.